This was Anna's saddest day. The Jack, who had once cherished her deeply and loved her to the fullest, was now unusually distant. Even when they shared a bed, he could not hide his worry, always with a furrowed brow. Anna, who was simple-hearted, thought that Jack must have started to dislike her, which was why he didn't want to engage with her. Little did she know, Jack, in the midst of his teenage years, was constantly struggling to control his impulses, fearing that he might make a mistake if he lost control. At first, Jack had agreed to sleep beside her because he was worried that her frequent nightmares would damage her spirit. For Anna, it was a cure to her nightmares, but for Jack, it was a form of torture. She noticed his strange behavior but couldn't understand the reason behind it. To make Jack happy, she worked hard, even helping with the house chores, but the mischievous little dog kept causing trouble. Jack had intended to ask her to shower and change clothes, but she took off her jacket right in front of him. The sudden visual shock made Jack's blood rush, and in a panic, he quickly excused himself to prepare hot water, afraid he might make an improper move. But in Anna's eyes, Jack was simply troubled. So, she tried to comfort him, assuming he was just stressed. Feeling helpless, Jack finally confessed that her actions were making him embarrassed, but this only made Anna feel useless and that Jack was disgusted by her. Unable to hold back, she started crying, and the scene almost broke Jack. He quickly came up with the idea of sending her to shower to avoid her catching a cold. From that moment on, Anna became overly sensitive, even more fragile than a glass heart. She would apologize for the smallest things, like forgetting to buy a roll, or casually mentioning that the dog had gained weight, which made her cry even more. To prevent her condition from worsening, Jack still agreed to sleep beside her at night, though he had to suffer from insomnia the whole night. Later, Jack went out alone, and Anna took the dog to the supermarket to buy some ingredients. At the supermarket, she found a new store that sold delicious roast beef, so she bought 2.5 pounds to prepare for dinner. However, the plan didn't go as expected. When she returned home, she discovered that Jack had also bought the same roast beef. She felt like she hadn't been helpful and cried once again. Jack saw her like this and felt guilty, knowing that her fragility was all his fault. That night, after Anna had fallen asleep, Jack quietly slipped into the living room. Thinking about his father's return to their home country, his head throbbed with stress. Soon, exhaustion overcame him, and he fell asleep in the living room. The next morning, Anna's sister came to wake them both up for New Year's prayers, but she told Anna that no matter how much she called, Jack wouldn't wake up. Anna's sister found this strange since, in past years, Jack would have been eager to join in. Eventually, Anna decided to stay home to look after the house. Her sister assured her she would go with other friends, so Anna didn't have to worry. Not long after, Anna saw a message pop up on Jack's phone. It was from Jenny, asking if they were going to the New Year's prayers and mentioning how great it would be to form a group. Anna knew that, besides herself and Jack, Jenny had almost no other friends. Though she had no idea what the New Year's prayers actually were, she figured it was all about participation, so she immediately changed her clothes and rushed to the prayer site to meet Jenny. Following Jenny's lead, they first drew a fortune to see their luck for the year. But as Anna looked at the fortune, she felt more and more uneasy, sensing that it was foretelling the end of her and Jack's relationship. How else could she explain Jack's sudden change in attitude, constantly distancing himself from her? She even began to fear that she would soon become someone who was no longer needed. Despair took over her as she thought about these things. Seeing Anna's mood darken, Jenny quickly tried to comfort her. My mother always said that tears are a way to release accumulated sorrow. Right now, you're probably letting go of years of sadness, so crying is not a bad thing. In fact, it's good for both your body and mind. It won't be long before you'll be smiling again. Her comforting words helped Anna stop dwelling on the negative thoughts. She gradually began to believe that Jack and those around her had her best interests at heart and would never just leave her behind. Meanwhile, Jack's phone kept ringing. When he finally woke up and checked his phone, he saw that his father had called. His father had already returned to the country and was waiting at the airport.